Good morning. These are our daily lectionary readings for Monday, August 15th, 2022. We have our three daily readings. Psalm 32 is our psalm reading. Jeremiah chapter 23, verses 30 through 40 is our Old Testament reading. And 1 John chapter 4, verses 1 through 6 is going to be our New Testament reading. Let us take a listen in via the message. Psalm 32. Count yourself lucky. How happy you must be. You get a fresh start. Your slate's wiped clean. Count yourself lucky. God holds nothing against you, and you're holding nothing back from Him. When I kept it all inside, my bones turned to powder. My words became day-long groans. The pressure never let up. All the justices of my life dried up. Then I let it all out. I said, I'll come clean about my failures to God. Suddenly, the pressure was gone. My guilt was dissolved. My sin disappeared. These things add up. Every one of us needs to pray. When all hell breaks loose and the dam bursts, we'll be on the high ground, untouched. God's my island hideaway, keeps dangers far from the shore, throws garlands of Hosanna around my neck. Let me give you some good advice. I'm looking at you in the eye and giving it to you straight. Don't let ornery like a horse or a mule. That needs a little bit of brittle to stay on track. God defiers are always in trouble. God affirmers find themselves loved every time they turn around. Celebrate God. Sing together, everyone. All you honest hearts, raise the roof. Our Old Testament reading today comes from the book of Jeremiah, chapter 23, verses 30 through 40. I've had it with the prophets who get all their sermons secondhand from each other. Yes, I've had it with them. They make up stuff and then pretend it's a real sermon. Oh yes, I've had it with the prophets who preach the lies they dream up, spreading them all over the country, ruining the lives of the people with their cheap and reckless lies. I never sent these prophets, never authorized a single one of them. They do nothing for this people, nothing. God's decree. And anyone, including prophets and priests, who ask, what's God got to say about all this? What's troubling him? Tell him, you're the trouble, and I'm getting rid of you. God's decree. And if anyone, including prophets and priests, go around saying glibly, God's message, I'll punish him and his family. Instead of claiming to know what God says, ask questions of one another, such as, how do we understand God in this? But don't go around pretending to know it all, saying, God told me this, God told me that. I don't want to hear it anymore. Only the person I authorize speaks for me. Otherwise, my message gets twisted. The message of the living God of the angel armies. You can ask the prophets, how did God answer you? What did he tell you? But don't pretend that you know all the answers yourself and talk like you know it all. I'm telling you, quit the God told me this, God told me that kind of talk. Are you paying attention? You'd better, because I'm going about to take you in the hand and throw you to the ground, you and this entire city that I gave to the ancestors. I've had it with a lot of you. You're never going to live this down. You're going down in history as a disgrace. Our New Testament reading, 1 John chapter 4, verses 1 through 6. My dear friends, don't believe everything you hear. Carefully weigh and examine what people tell you. Not everyone who talks about God comes from God. There are a lot of lying preachers loose in this world. Here's how you test for the genuine Spirit of God. Everyone who confesses openly his faith in Jesus Christ, the Son of God, who came as an actual flesh and blood person, comes from God and belongs to God. And everyone who refuses to confess faith in Jesus has nothing in common with God. This is the spirit of Antichrist that you heard was coming. Well, here it is, sooner than we thought. My dear children, you come from God and belong to God. You have already won a big victory over those false teachers, for the Spirit in you is far stronger than anything in the world. These people belong to the Christ-denying world. They talk the world's language and the world eats it up. But we come from God and belong to God. Anyone who knows God understands us and listens. The person who has nothing to do with God will, of course, not listen to us. This is another test for telling the spirit of truth from the spirit of deception. And here ends our readings for the day.